Hello, everyone. My name is Robin Brown, and I'm an independent demonstrator from Stampin' Up. And I just thought I would come to you live today with a cute little project that I had for Christmas time. It is going to be part of our card classes this month, but we aren't going to be making cards. We're going to be making 3D Christmas projects because I feel that all our Christmas cards should be done, right? Well, if that's not the case, then you can keep on working on your cards. But today I'd like to do this little project. And before I do, I want to bring you attention to two things. This is my 24/7 Stampin' Up sales site. And then YouTube has started a new thing that will make it very much easier to find all the YouTube videos that I put out in the past. And that all you have to type in when you get to YouTube is at Robin's Nest Creations. It will take you right to my channel, and you will see this little logo here. Let me turn this down so that you can actually see the little logo. And let's see, we need to go this way. There we go. Whoops. Spin you around. Do you feel like you're on a Ferris wheel? Okay, so this is what the logo looks like. There we go. This is what the logo looks like. So my channel should have that logo up in the corner. This is how you find it, at Robin's Nest Creations. And also, if you're shopping on my 24/7 website, which is this address up here, use this host code until Christmas. This will link all your purchases with the other group, and hopefully you'll be able to enjoy some benefits. Now, if your order goes over, is $150 or over, don't use the host code. Collect up the Stampin' Rewards for yourself. All righty, so here we go. And I am not sure that we have audio coming through, so I'm hoping that's the case. It is turned off right here, so let me see if, just make sure it's coming through. It is coming through. All righty, so now we can begin. Okay, so for this project, I saw this on Pinterest, and my Pinterest finds are usually always pretty great. This is a cute little ornament. And it's a cute little ornament all on its own. However, if you slide the bead up the ribbon, which keeps the ornament closed, you slide the bead up the ribbon, the ornament opens up, flips around, you put the two greeting pieces together, then slide the bead back down the ribbon, and you have this wonderful ornament star. Now, this particular ornament, I used the Hope, what was the name of that stamp set? Peace to You stamp set. Is the one that has a picture of a church and a nativity scene. I wasn't terrifically happy with the way this inside of this particular star looked, like the churches were getting cut up in pieces. So I didn't try the nativity portion on that. I did make another one though, however, and I used Happiness, Decorated with Happiness stamp set. I use the Christmas greetings here for the Christmas greetings on the sentiment. And I use the little pine bough right here for some accents. And I even use this little snowflake, or they look kind of like asterisks or stars down here in the corner. And I also use this particular piece for the middle. And when you slide this up the ribbon and turn it over, there is only one particular thing to focus on in the middle. And that looks more like what I was going for. It's not perfect either. So I decided probably that the only way that I can make this look, I mean, this doesn't look bad, and I would use this on my tree. None of them look bad, actually. This one, I embossed the edges with gold embossing powder, and I'll just put out a tip for you there. When you're doing that, the embossing does crack when you go to fold it. So just be mindful that that happens. It only cracks at the fold, so it's not a big deal. It cracks where it's supposed to crack. But if you're not wanting that to happen, then I thought with this one, I just sponge daubed the edges, and I also took my blending brush and blended some of the color onto the white cardstock. So these both started with white cardstock, and then we blended. All right, so for today, I thought I'd try to do it an even easier way. So what you'll need for this is 5 pieces, and I'm going to go up just a little bit. You'll need 5 pieces of 3 by 3 inch let's see, trying to get that best on the screen for you. And with the lag with Facebook, it's hard to decide which way I should go. I think that's the best way. 3 by 3 pieces of cardstock. And this is what I use, the Boughs of Holly cardstock and the poinsettia pattern. The back side of this pattern has a beautiful red kind of polka dotty watercolor wash kind of thing to it. So that'll be the back side of the ornament. Now my trick is that I want to try to get the ornament to have all of this in the star section and all of the other pieces on the side sections of them. Okay, so you have 5 3 by 3 pieces of DSP. You can use any DSP you want, anything you think will be appropriate, and 2 pieces of 1.5 inch square basic white. Okay, and now I'm going to take on the basic white the sentiment Christmas greetings from Decorated with Happiness, and I'm going to stamp it this time. Instead of in green, I'm going to stamp it with real red. Real red, and I'm going to stamp it at a little bit of an angle. And if you put these so the points of your square are both on the same line, you should get it straight. So there's one. You can also stamp something else on the other one if you like. I just choose to do the same thing on both sides. Make things easy. Alrighty, and then we'll set the red ink aside for a minute, and we'll get out the Evening Evergreen ink. And I am going to put a little pine bough on the top of those as well. Now this will stamp off the edge. I'm going to put a little piece underneath here. So we're going to stamp off the edge just like so. And another one down here just like so. Okay, we'll do the same thing on the other little piece. And on the other little piece. And then if you want to use those stars, you can do that. You can do them in red or green. I think I'll try them in red this time. And the stamp obviously is too big for the piece of paper that we're stamping on. So if we get just a couple of those stars in the mix, we're doing good. I'm trying to put them like so. That looks nice. Kind of looks like holly berries on the end of my decoration there. Here, both of those are done. Okay, we'll set that aside to clean up later, and then we're pretty much all done with ink. No, we're not unless you want to not sponge the edges. Let me see. I think we'll use around the edges, we'll use some of the green Evening Evergreen. And we'll just take a sponge dauber with some Evening Evergreen and go around the edges here. This is optional. You don't really have to do that if you don't want to. It adds a little bit of a extra definition to our little card piece here. Okay, and we'll do that to the other one as well. You can see that just adds a little bit of color on the edges. If you want to, you could use a blender brush and blend in, or you can continue with your sponge dauber and color that in a little bit. I kind of like that. There we go. Just a little bit of color, not too much. There we go. Both of those are done. Now, here is where the bits of fun come in. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you'll also need about 16 inches of a ribbon of your choice, any kind of Christmas ribbon. I found this really beautiful silver ribbon, and I found a silver bead at my retail store in the craft department. And you want to make sure you get a bead that is big enough to get the ribbon through, which is was kind of difficult in this case, but I got it through there. I do that by using a piece of wire as an eyelet to go through. But you want it not so loose that it doesn't hold when you slide it up and down this ribbon. So that's why I used a smaller bead. Plus, that bead is absolutely gorgeous. Look, reminds me of the ball dropping on the Christmas Eve from the Waldorf Astoria Hotel. That's where they do it. I think they do it at Radio City Music Hall now. I'm not sure where they do it. Anyway, the first thing you want to do is fold that ribbon in half and tie a knot. That'll keep your bead from slipping off the end. And then you can just slide this on pretty much anywhere on there, but make sure the ends are even. And you can set that aside for a while. So we'll set our two labels aside for a minute. Now, when you're working with a stamped project, you would stamp your images on both sides of the paper. The advantage to using DSP is the other side is already colored for you, so it's not a necessity that you stamp both sides. So now this is kind of like origami. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to fold your square in half, matching up the corners. You will want to use a bone folder on the fold. Okay. Then you'll want to open it back up, and you'll want to fold it over the opposite way. So that you will, I didn't quite try to get it as even as possible. That is important. I didn't get it too even, so I'm going to try to adjust my fold here. There we go. All right. So you will have a cross shape folds on this piece. See what it looks like. See the cross shape. All right. Now, when you have these so that the mountains are pointing upward, you need to place that face down on the table. And this time, instead of folding flowers to the front, we're going to fold the back to the front. So we're going to fold this at a diagonal right here. And it has to be folded the opposite direction that you folded the first time. So the picture, if you're using DSP, the picture that you have right now will be different than the picture that you folded together the first time. All right, so we're going to have something that looks like this. Now, the next thing you do is you're going to open this up. And this is just really funny the way this works, but you open this up and fold it open. And if you just give your finger a little push to the middle, right on the section, it almost folds in the direction you want it to go already. So when it pops together, you're going to fold this together just like this. All right, so this will be what is in the center of the flower, hopefully. If I get it wrong, then we'll just make sure we fold one the other way. All right, so you do this to all of the pieces, and I will try to hurry up and get this done here. And the most important thing is to try to match the corners up as evenly as possible, because that gives you the best looking star when you're done. See, you have the flowers on the outside. Now make sure that you fold this next step on the diagonal, that you're folding it with the opposite picture on the outside, just like we did on the first one. And you do this all 5 times to all 5 pieces. All right, and then you pop it in the center, and it folds sort of automatically into that shape that we need. So here we go again. Flowers on the outside this time. Flowers on the outside the second time. Flowers on the inside on the third time. On the diagonal, the flowers will be on the inside. So here we go. So outside, outside, inside. Now, if you have stamped them and you've stamped them all the same on both sides, you don't have to worry about which one is going on the outside and which one's going on the inside. two more little folds here. Here's one. Fold the poinsettias on the outside. Fold two. And then poinsettias on the inside for fold number 3. And you could really make this any size you want. I just thought 3 by 3 is a perfect size to put on a standard Christmas tree, I think. Pop it in the middle and you'll see that it kind of makes that fold for you. Here's the last one. Last one. So it's straight across, and then diagonal. And the diagonal is the one that looks inside out. So that you realize that the pattern you want to see most is on the outside of these squares. So in order to do that, you're going to fold the pattern to the outside. And my pattern I'm going to say is poinsettias. So poinsettias to the outside, that's just in half. Then open it up and fold it the other way. Just in half. Poinsettias to the outside. And you want to match up those corners nicely. And use your bone folder to make the fold so that you have just a cross in the piece. All right, so now just put this straight down on your tabletop. And this time, this last fold, you're going to fold your poinsettias to the inside so that you have the opposite picture on the outside of this diagonal fold. Get your corners together really well. All right. Then just pick it up, open it, and poke your finger right there, or your thumb, and it will pop backwards right into the shape that you need it to be in. And then continue to fold it down. And go on every one of these pieces and burnish the folds. So make sure that they are creased in the proper direction. And we're making sure we're burnishing folds. Okay, so now with the opening toward the bottom, we're going to glue these together. Shush. Hopefully, we'll cross your fingers. Otherwise, you'll see me make a mess of this again, but I don't think so. I think I've got it now. And we'll just keep going. We're stacking these right on top of each other with the fold all on the same side and the openings all on this bottom side down here where my finger is pointing, right there. And we're going to go around again with the glue. This is the Tombow multi-purpose liquid glue. There. And one more here. That's the last piece that needs to be glued to there. Now, with confidence, I'm going to tell you that the next step is to find that middle point, and that is going to be the end of your ribbon piece. Now, you don't need a whole lot to turn this around, so you can trim pieces off I think that I can trim off about 1 inch on this piece. So that would make it probably, let's see, I told you 16 inches. You probably only need 13 inches. Okay. And I'm going to cut this ribbon at a point, just like that, so that you know that that is going to point toward the fold. Point toward the fold. Now for starters, we're just going to take some double-sided tape and stick one of these pieces of ribbon down across there, just one. Then you're going to take, now the opening is down here on the bottom, right here. This is the opening. If you put it the other way around, it won't open at all. So the next step is to take your, so this is actually the top. Let's make sure we do this right. So this is going to be the top of the ornament when it's closed. I'm gonna do that way. And this piece is going to be your greeting. Okay, now here's the top of our ornament. Here's the bottom where all the folds come together. All the folds come together at the bottom. So one more time, we're going to take some Tombow glue and go around here, right over the top of the ribbon. In fact, put some more in the middle on top of the ribbon. And then glue your sentiment the correct way, right like so. Okay. So that's one side. Press, press, press. Get that seated. Turn it over and you'll know that that's going to go exactly the same way on the other side. Up here is the opening. Down here is the fold. The ribbon ends point. That's why I made a point on there. Point toward the fold. Tombow glue around the edges. In the middle. I'm going to set that aside while I stick this one on there. Yeah, just make that a hair smaller. Take a 1/16 of an inch off of your 1.5 inches. And you'll have a perfect fit. Okay, and when you slide this bead down, it will hold that closed. Then when you slide it open, push it up toward the top, separate the ribbon, one in each hand, bring it around, put the pieces together. And if you haven't made too much sticky mess, you will have your Christmas star in the middle. You slide the bead back down to hold it together. And you see that you have your pretty poinsettias in the middle. And your alternate paper on the outside. All right. There you have it. Now you can go as your, if you would like, take some Wink of Stella. By the way, I don't know if you know, this is how your Wink of Stella comes. It comes with this little black collar in there. So unscrew your brush, pull off your collar, screw your brush back on down, till it stops. Push, then pull this off. Give this a little bit of a squeeze till you start to see the ink come down here. Wake Stella is like glitter ink. It's kind of neat that you can paint on like a brush. You want to squeeze it until some of that comes down into the brush, and you want to make sure you don't hold that over your project piece, because look what happened. It all just kind of dripped into a puddle. So you can take this and paint your star with it and give it some sparkle. And I will just do one side of this and then show you what it looks like. And tiny little squeeze to get that in liquid down there. It does not need a whole lot. I really overdid on my first squeeze. Okay, so can you see the sparkle? I think you can. Looks wonderful. And I would do that on the other side as well. And I'm not going to do that right now. But anyway, there's your little Christmas star. And once you've taken this off, you don't need to put it back on. You just close your brush up like so. So there was my Christmas ornament. So anyway, feel free to join me on Tuesday at 1 p.m. on my Zoom class. If you need a link to the Zoom, you can personal message me on my page here, and I will send you a link to the Zoom if you'd like to join us. We're going to do several 3D items, and we are going to do this one, but I plan to do it stamped with snowflakes. And if that doesn't turn out for me, I will again show them how you can do it with DSP. DSP project was much faster, but I kind of like the looks of the stamped ones. So enjoy the rest of your day. We'll catch up with you on another live coming up soon. Goodbye for now.